Again, it just tells the story of it's the evil and the ugliness of people's hearts these days is everywhere.
This is Franky Rose's Think Tank. Here's your host, Franky Rose.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Think Tank. So we're on day 8, and it's starting to pick up a little bit. They were going through the first few days. It was all of the technical stuff as far as the DNA and where it's found, and fairly dry, but informative, right? So now we started getting into a little bit more of the witnesses, which is awesome. We're starting to get some more information. And we're waiting. Hopefully, they call the lawyer, the friend of Folis, that is also charged. She's facing the same charges as Michelle. I don't know. I think it's pretty much time for them to, I don't know, get this done, right? Let's get this done. Jennifer Dulos absolutely deserves justice. Her kids, all 5 of them, deserve justice. Folis, of course, unalived himself after he got charged. So now all of those kids are orphans. Great job, Folis. So we've got Michelle Troconis, and from what we have seen, she was with him while this was going on. While he was driving around, dumping everything, you can see Michelle hanging out the side of his vehicle. Are you going to tell me that she had no idea what was being thrown away? In this particular picture, Folis is throwing stuff in the dumpster, and you can see kind of in the hand that's down on the left side, he's holding what looks like a white envelope. Well, what he does with this white envelope is right where you see Michelle's feet, right below there. That's a sewer. That's a drainage sewer. So he dumps his crap into the garbage here, all of his evidence, and then he goes over there and drops that white envelope down there. So when they recovered it, they were able to recover that. It happened to be expired plates from Folis Dulos. He'd been putting them on, allegedly, on different vehicles because he had altered those plates. So he was putting them on the different vehicles. He borrowed 2, owns 3 of his own to do this dirty work. So when they fished it out, they found out that they were altered and registered to Folis Dulos. So the plates were expired. They did a fairly good job of making them look, they didn't look altered. So they did a fairly good job at disguising these plates. So you're going to tell me that Michelle didn't notice all of this stuff? She didn't know what was in these bags that he was tossing away, that big mat that they threw away? You're going to tell me that she knew nothing? I'm not buying it, guys. I'm not buying it. Jennifer does deserve justice. It sounds like everything that happened in one spot in that garage. And we will eventually get the results from all of those tests that they were showing us at the beginning of the trial. We will start to find out who those belong to. And from what I understand, Michelle's DNA is in that mix. So not looking good. We'll have to wait and see, right? We're going to have to wait and see. I would personally want to know why out helping dump things that could all be thrown away at home. In my opinion, she absolutely knew. Right? Absolutely. You know, you're in a vehicle with your boyfriend and he's just driving around to different places to dump off garbage and she didn't find that sus? No, no, I don't buy it either. I don't buy it either. So it's 8 o'clock. They should be opening up the courtroom fairly soon, given that there's no problems. Jury's behaving. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So there are a few other things happening today. So we have the letters from Karen Reed's case, the 8 letters. So later I'll probably do a stream on those. Actually, I think I've already set it for 3 o'clock Mountain Standard to go through those. And Adam Montgomery, there's also some documents out there with him and fairly telling. The witness list is something like 9 pages long from against this arsehole. So there's that. Ethan Crumbly's mom is, what are they doing today? Something's happening with that as well today with the mom. I don't know. It might be jury selection. So yeah, there's lots happening. I'm trying to squeeze as much of this in a day as I can. Hashtag free Karen Reed. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, like I've said, I most of the time I think they're guilty and I'm just like, fry them. Karen Reed's case, no. That's a different kettle of fish, that one. So yeah, I'm looking forward to being able to go through that again with you. I'm gonna try and do at least one a day with her. Here they come.
Please be seated. Thank you.
So on with the Michelle Troconis trial. Let's do this. Ethan Crumbly.
We continue this morning with the state's case. Which witnesses does the state plan to call this morning?
Good morning, Your Honor. With respect to today, the state intends this morning to offer Sergeant Duggan up for examination. Sergeant Duggan is the individual who sees the garbage from the garbage can. I do have numerous exhibits I plan on introducing through him today. So that will be the morning, and then the afternoon we have
Hey, American.
a few
We're gonna
witnesses
start
that have to
showing
do with
exhibits.
additional video surveillance that was obtained.
Thank you. Is Sergeant Duggan here?
He is right outside, Your Honor.
Thank you. Let's first bring
Okay.
the jury in, please.
Okay, so they did recover some of those bags. Nice. So we're going to start seeing some of those exhibits. I had to run to the store this morning at about 6, something like that. And beautiful day outside. Ooh la la. We should be streaming from my deck. That might be a good idea to think about doing that in summer at one point. Yep. Yeah.
Would counsel stipulate, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
You've been deep diving
Continue
these
now
cases,
with the
Tony.
state's
Good on you.
witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state would call Kevin Duggan to the stand. May I have a moment, Your Honor?
Yes.
I'm glad they've got some of the clothes and what have you. And what was he using zip ties for, I wonder? It is, Tony. I agree with you 1,000%.
Please raise your right hand. Do
solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm as the case may be that the evidence you shall give concerning this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, or upon penalty of perjury?
I do.
Please state your name and spell it for the record.
Or it's Kevin Duggan, KEVIN, DUGGAN.
And your affiliation?
I'm a sergeant with the Connecticut State Police.
Thank you.
Sergeant, you may be seated.
Thank you.
May I inquire, Your Honor?
Yes.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Sir, how long have you worked for the Connecticut State Police?
He's a happy
Approximately
looking dude.
16 years.
And are you
But he
assigned to a
doesn't-
particular division or
got
department
another
within the state
side.
police?
Yes, I'm assigned to the Central District Major Crime Squad.
What areas does the Central District Major Crime Squad cover?
The central part of the state in and around Hartford.
And within that Central District Major Crime Squad, are you assigned to a particular specialization or division?
Yes, I'm assigned to the crime van.
And when we say van, what does that mean?
It's a van or truck, as you will, and basically it is a mobile crime lab.
Do you have any specialized training or experience with respect to being a sergeant on the van?
Yes, I've been to multiple crime scene processing classes, homicide conferences, police involved shooting conferences, and several other classes.
How many years have you worked for or within the van or the, in the state police?
Approximately 7 years now.
And how long have you been a sergeant of the van?
I'd make
Approximately
sure of
a year and
it.
a half.
Damn straight they
Could you
would.
briefly describe, well, actually, if I can withdraw that, were you working on the van in 2019?
I was.
What was your assignment, or I guess I should say rank at that time?
I was a detective.
Who was your sergeant?
Sergeant Ralph Soda.
And who did you work with on the van at Central District?
It was Detective Lindsay Valcourt, Detective Pete Farr, Detective Daniel DeJesus,
Deep
and
Farr?
Detective Steve Soares.
I'm going to draw your attention now to
Farr.
May 30th of 2019. Did you respond to Albany Avenue in Hartford on that day?
I did.
What time did you respond?
It was in the early afternoon hours, early evening.
What was your assignment?
My assignment was to check certain trash receptacle areas within the city and seize the trash
When did you get that assignment?
that afternoon.
Who gave it to you?
Sergeant Ralph Soda,
And who were you with on Albany Avenue that night?
Detective Mike Hamill, and Detective Peter Farr.
So did any, or what information did you have, if any, before you went out to Albany Avenue that evening?
Basically, that Western District Major Crime Squad was investigating the disappearance of a Jennifer Dulos, and that their suspect had allegedly thrown out trash within the city of Hartford.
Did you know what day that was?
I believe she went missing on the 24th of May.
And the day that you were on Albany or given that assignment was what day?
Was May 30th.
Did you go in anywhere in particular on Albany Avenue?
Yes.
Where did you go?
We went to 3 different locations on Albany Avenue.
And what were they?
The first one was Albany and Garden Street. The second one was Albany and Blue Hills Ave. And the third location was Albany and Green Street.
No. Your Honor, for the record, I'm playing states 36. May I just inquire if everybody's televisions are on? Yes, thank you. So I'm going to draw your attention to the screen behind you if you can. States 36. Sir, do you recognize that
This
intersection?
is where he put that rug
I do.
too, right?
And with respect to, is that the area that you responded to?
Yes,
And you mentioned Garden Street. Is Garden Street portrayed on that video?
it is.
Can you please, if you wouldn't mind, Your Honor, may he, sir, if you wouldn't mind heading up to the screen and just pointing out where Garden Street is.
Before you proceed,
Yes, Your
Okay.
Honor.
Attorney Manning. Sergeant, that's a concave view of Garden in Albany, is it not? Because they do not run parallel to each other. They're perpendicular. Is that correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
No, sir, did
The
you
judge
go to
asks
the
a lot of
address
questions.
on May 30th?
I did.
And were you in uniform?
I was in a major crime uniform
And what was your assignment when you got to that address?
to seize the trash at that location.
What did you have a procedure or process you were utilizing that night?
Yes.
What was that procedure?
So we had brought our own industrial sized trash bags and we removed the trash from the trash receptacles and placed them into our trash bags and subsequently seized them.
Did you go through the garbage containers on scene?
We looked inside of them, confirmed there was trash in them, seized the trash, and then brought the trash back to the Troop H barracks in Hartford.
Why didn't you go through the trash on scene in the corner of Albany and Garden?
It was an unsecure environment.
Where did you bring the trash to?
The Troop H barracks in Hartford?
And did you have a procedure at Troop H to go through the trash that was obtained from those garbage canisters?
Yes.
And what was that procedure?
Basically, we went into the garage at Troop H and we laid out a bunch of brown butcher block paper on the ground and we labeled it. Each trash bag that we seized, we labeled as to the location where we seized it.
I wonder how
Trash
many they
was
got.
dumped out onto those, under that butcher block paper, so we could search it and process it.
No, sir.
What a
if you
dumbass.
Refer to the screen behind you, seats 36. Is the
Hope you
garbage
feel good about
container that
yourself,
you
Michelle.
seized the trash from depicted on that screen?
It is.
If you wouldn't mind, please going up to the screen and pointing that out. For the record, he's pointing to the middle center.
I wonder if
right,
they got that
or
rug
left, actually.
or
Of the
whatever
screen.
it was.
Did you go anywhere else in that area?
I did.
Where did you go?
I searched, there was a set of dumpsters on the side of the building. I searched that area and I searched this trash can right here and I searched this side of the building.
So starting with the right side of the screen, where the dumpsters are, how did you search those?
I climbed in the dumpster and started searching.
Did you know what you were looking for, or were you looking for anything in particular?
Just items of evidentiary value.
And did you find anything or seize anything out of those dumpsters?
No,
Now, while you were in the dumpster, did you speak to anybody?
I did.
Dumpster diving.
And without telling me what that person said, did you take any action?
Yes.
What action did you take?
I subsequently seized the trash can, the trash contents of this trash can in front of the restaurant.
And did you go through the trash of that trash can as well?
I did.
And so the items that you seized were both the bottom left, and then there's a trash can in the center middle. Is that correct?
Yes.
If I may have one moment with
Mat.
counsel,
Would
Your
they
Honor.
get a mat? A floor mat? Oh, I was just thinking about that, Tony. Can you imagine how long this is going to take once he gets into this? Oh my God, I hope everybody's got
Your Honor,
Tylenol already.
Stage 42 is only ID. I'm going to for the record, shut the TV off behind the witness. And if I may just approach that small screen on the front. So I'm going to draw your attention to the screen right in front of you.
Mesa County Sheriff's Office did find one of the missing men on Friday, January 19th at approximately 6:30. They found 75-year-old John Meekington, and he was discovered deceased. He was found near the 2000 block of
Under
East Half Road,
States 42
private
for
property,
ID,
not
sir.
considered suspicious.
If you can, just take a look at that, what is displayed on that screen.
Rest in
This
peace.
is, image
Brutal.
1.
Thanks,
Do you
Dandy.
recognize that image?
I do.
And what is it?
That's the trash can at the corner of Albany and Main
Nice.
Street.
Did you take that photograph?
I did.
And did you seize trash from that photograph?
I did.
I mean, not from the photograph. Did you seize trash from the can that is represented in that photograph?
I did.
And is that a fair and accurate representation of what that garbage can looked like that day on May 30th, 2019?
It is.
State would offer 1.
Which case, Tony?
The number is 1.
1, Your Honor.
States 1 admitted as a full exhibit.
I believe it's picture 1. I apologize, Your Honor. States 42, picture 1, file 1.
Thank you.
Oh,
State 42,
did they?
photo 1, file 1.
Thank you, sir. If you can just take a look
So
behind you.
Romeo
Is that
Nance
the
was
garbage can that
found
you,
dead in Texas.
seized or looked into that night?
It is.
Now he's
Did
the
you
one
take
that
any action with
deleted the
respect to
7
that actual
people.
garbage can?
We did.
What did you do?
Thanks,
I
Tony.
photographed it before seizing it, emptied the
Yes, that
trash
outcome.
contents of that trash can into our own trash bags, and then we seized the actual trash can itself.
Awesome.
Why did you seize the actual trash can?
We had information that a person of interest that dumped the trash in the trash can had touched it, and we were gonna try and get DNA
Coward, another
from the trash
coward.
can.
By the way, at this point on May 30th, 2019, were you working at all with Western District Major Crimes?
No,
Did you have any personal knowledge or information directly with respect to the investigation component of the disappearance of Jennifer Dulos?
Hope he left a letter explaining himself.
So
bastard.
you seized the garbage can itself. Did you log it into evidence?
we did.
And did you give it an evidence number?
We did.
For the record, I'm shutting the screen off. On States 42, sir, I'm going to direct your attention to file 1, photo 3. If you could take a look at that, sir, and
Romeo
not even on the
Nance goes
screen
out
in
and
front of
deletes,
you.
I think, a total
do
of
you
8
recognize what's
people,
depicted
actually.
in that photograph?
Can't deal with what he
What
did.
is depicted?
So, yeah.
It's the
I'm
trash
unalive
can
to
with the lid
Texas.
removed.
And is that the same trash can that we just saw on the first photograph in this file?
It is.
Did you take that photograph?
I did.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of what that trash can looked like on May 30th, 2019, when it
Yeah.
was seized?
Yes.
State would offer it.
I just have a couple of dear questions, if I may, regarding this
Of
photograph.
course. Of course.
This picture number 3, it's obviously not on Albany Avenue anymore, is it?
It's not.
So exactly where was this picture taken?
This was taken at the Troop H garage at the Troop H barracks in Hartford.
Did you dismantle that trash receptacle yourself?
I did.
And then you took this picture?
I did.
And this is before or after you removed the items from the barrel?
Afterwards.
After, okay. I have no objection.
And the exhibit number, please.
42, file 1, picture 3.
State
Okay.
42, File
I'll
number
makes my
1,
skin crawl.
photograph 3 admitted as a full exhibit.
Thank you. Sir, I'm going to direct your attention to the screen behind you. And could you please explain what's depicted in that photograph, please?
The trash can placed on brown butcher block paper with the trash can lid next to it.
And the location of where this photograph was taken.
The Troop H garage at the Troop H barracks in Hartford.
Now, there's a number on the bottom right, the 499. What does that mean?
So the trash can was given an evidence number, which was 499.
What about the A on the left-hand side?
So that was given.
Yeah,
letter
they
A,
usually
which was
do.
499A, basically.
They
A
usually will.
is a part of 499.
Thank you, sir. Now, while you're back at Albany Avenue and Garden Street,
His fingerprints
Did
and what
you
have you will be all over the place. So I
remove,
might
or how
have
did you
something to do
remove
with it.
all of the garbage that was contained inside that garbage can?
So there were 3 of us, and one held the trash bag open, and the other lifted the trash can and emptied the trash into the trash bag.
And did you take a photograph, sir, of the trash can after it was emptied?
I did.
I'm going to draw your attention to the picture on the screen in front of you, if I can. States 42, file 1, picture 2 for ID. Sir, do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
I do.
What is depicted in that photograph?
The trash can once it's emptied.
State would offer it, or I'm sorry, I have to ask the foundation question. Is that a fair and accurate representation of what the garbage can looked like after it was emptied on May 30th, 2019?
Yes.
Thank you. Now I would offer it, Your Honor.
Again, just a couple of questions. Again, this picture was taken after you removed the garbage from the receptacle, correct?
Yes.
And this is what you saw left in there as you peered into it with the cover removed and all of the items that were in it.
I don't understand. Why is he talking?
Had to see that. All the garbage bags or whatever garbage was in that bag was removed at that point, right?
Yes.
I have no objection.
What's he
Page
doing?
42.
File 1, photo 2.
File
He's a
1,
pain in my
photo
butt.
2 entered as a full exhibit.
Does he think that he's making them that? I mean, he's making them look horrible. I think he is.
Sir, is that the photograph of the picture of the garbage after you had removed its contents?
Yes.
That's gross.
What did you do with the contents after you had placed it in the bag?
We transported that back to the Troop H garage in Hartford.
Did you also give it a evidence number?
We did.
What evidence number did you give that?
I believe it was evidence exhibit 500.
Could I hear that number, please?
Could you repeat the number, please?
I blame it on the
Evidence exhibit 500.
defense that this trial is taking so
So I'm going
long.
to show you the
Like,
screen in
It's
front of you.
unnecessary.
States 42, file 1, picture 4. Do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
I do.
What is that picture?
That's the trash from the trash can at the corner of Albany and Garden Street. That's what it looked like once we put the trash from that trash can into our own trash bag.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of what it looked like that day?
It is.
No objection to this image.
Oh, that's
would offer
the
it, Your Honor.
fault.
Page 42,
File 1, picture 4.
file.
Can you imagine
1, photo
when
4.
it's the defense's turn?
Admitted
Oh
as a
my
full exhibit.
God. I might take up drinking.
Sir, if you could take a look at the screen behind you, just a question or two. There's writing on the bottom left of that photograph. What does that say?
So it says Albany and Garden, and that was just placed there to identify where the trash was from in the photograph.
At some point, did you empty the contents of that bag?
We did,
Where did you empty the contents of that bag onto?
onto that brown paper.
Take a look at the picture in front of you, sir. Do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
I do.
What is depicted in that photograph?
That's the trash once it's emptied onto the brown paper.
And is that a fair and accurate representation of what all the trash looked like when you emptied it onto the brown paper on May 30th, 2019?
Yes.
State would offer it.
May I inquire?
Oh my God.
We're looking at Exhibit 5 from File 1 within that disk, so, which for the record is Exhibit 42 for ID. So I just want to ask you, first of all, there's some writing on the brown paper. Did you put that writing there?
Yes.
Were these items that are now shown, you know, displayed on this brown paper, were they loose like this, or were they in something in particular?
So this is the picture of once it's emptied out onto the brown paper.
Doesn't he get
Were
his
they
own
all
time?
emptied
Like,
out of
sit
that
down.
black garbage bag that you talked about?
Yes.
And that included a stained white T-shirt that we see in this.
That's what I'm thinking.
Correct?
Objection, Your Honor. Now
Well,
we're going
it's-
beyond the
well,
voir
it's-
dire.
Well, this is an
God.
ID exhibit. And council's reference now is the content in an ID exhibit. So as far as voir dire is concerned, the court is not going to permit questions concerning the content of an ID exhibit.
Fair enough, Your Honor. I will ask a different question. Is what is
Sit
depicted
down.
in this image, did it all come out of that garbage bag that you testified to, or was some of this elsewhere?
No, it all came out of that trash bag.
Oh, okay. Then I do not object to this.
Jesus
So
criminy,
states
man.
42, file 1, photo 5. Is that
Yes, sir.
correct? Admitted as a full exhibit.
Jesus, Lord Murphy.
If you can, sir, take a look at the screen behind you. Now,
Gross.
with respect to the items, I guess, on the right-hand side, it looks like one item, the T-shirt in the upper left hand, has been splayed out. Did you splay that out?
Yes,
Okay, why did you do that?
just to show an overall representation of the item.
Was that item seized as evidence?
It was.
And why was it seized as evidence?
So
I'm
as a-
going to object to why it was seized, and then we can move on from there. I don't, you need to. explain
Jesus, sit down, you
why
pain in
certain
the
items
ass.
were in fact-
I
Well,
claim it, Your Honor.
Overruled.
Thank you. Why did you seize that as evidence?
So it was a white T-shirt with what appeared to be a blood-like substance on the T-shirt, and we found that suspicious.
Did you seize anything else
That
that came
is
out of
a
that
lot
garbage can?
on that
Garbage
shirt.
bag, I should say.
No,
What the hell did they do?
Now, you indicated that you also obtained another garbage bag. Is that correct?
correct.
And was that the other garbage container that was closer
He's
to the building?
pitiful.
Yes,
I'm going to draw your attention to photograph in front of you, sir. Do you
He's
recognize
just
what's
pitiful,
depicted in
lawyer.
that photograph?
I do.
What is it?
So that's the contents of the trash can that was closest to the building.
And an ish ton of
Largo's
420.
restaurant.
And this is not, well, oh, I apologize, Your Honor. That's my fault. With respect to the screen, for the record, the screen is off. It was on for a little bit, but I did shut it off. With respect to this photograph, sir, is this a fair and accurate representation of the garbage that you seized from that garbage can?
It is.
Breakfast
would offer it, Your Honor.
burritos.
Again, a couple of voir dire questions.
Oh,
The outer bag that, with what you, was that something you put it in, or is this how you found the actual trash from that receptacle next to the building?
For this trash
Yes.
bag,
Yes.
this is how we found it.
Oh, okay. And again, there's some writing on this, correct?
Correct.
And then there's a
why
name,
is he talking,
and,
guys? Why?
so, and some other letters. Did you write that?
I did.
Is that?
Who cares?
Is that a name
Ah,
of a
oh
person?
my
or
God,
name
I'm
of a
already
building?
frustrated.
It's the name of the restaurant.
Oh, okay.
Mm,
And that we've already looked at the image or the stop
Yes.
screen from the C4
He is
cameras.
so
Is
freaking
that
irritating,
the
this
name
man.
of the place next to where this trash receptacle?
I might
is-
not be able to
is
drink
out of?
coffee because
Yes.
I'll get pissy. Hyper and pissy.
I have no objection.
Oh, really,
That's
Saul?
stage
That's
42, file
a
1.
surprise.
Which photograph, please?
6, Your Honor.
Photograph 6, admitted as a full exhibit.
Thank you. And while
Might need
we're
Bailey's
here
in my
before I
coffee.
show that, Your Honor, if I may, sir, take a look at photo 7. Do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
I do.
What is depicted in that photograph?
That's the contents of the trash once it's displayed out onto the brown paper.
When you say contents of the trash displayed on the brown
Mm.
paper, is this the trash that was in the preceding photograph?
Cheers.
Correct.
Okay, and did you take that photograph?
I did.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of what the trash looked like once you displayed it on brown paper that day?
It is.
State would offer the photo 7 as well.
No objection.
Stage 42, file 1, photograph 7, admitted as a full exhibit.
Thank you. Sir, take a look behind you, please.
Right?
And that was I noticed this is in a clear plastic bag. You didn't put that in a black bag as well?
No, we didn't because that trash was all contained within that clear bag. The other
He just
trash
makes
was
it look
loose
bad
within
for
a
his
plastic
client.
trash bin.
And the writing on the bottom left, if you could please explain what that means.
So Albany and Garden are the streets, the street corner. And then Milagros Convenience Building is the restaurant, which this trash can was right up against.
I've never seen that
When
happen
you went
before.
to that
Every
area
single
and
thing
seized
they've
that
got it.
trash bag.
I've
if
never
I
seen it
may,
happen before. He's a pain in my butt.
Back to States 36, sir, can you just
Daryl
point
Brooks'
again
brother
where you
over
went
there.
and seized that bag from? And for the record, the middle upper part of the screen. Sir, what day was this again?
This was May 30th.
On May 30th, when you went to that area, did you find
He's
any
not worth it.
weather
He's
tech
not worth
miners?
it.
No.
Thank you. You can have a seat, sir.
Yeah.
No.
He is not worth $500 an hour. Hells no.
Picture 7, if you take a look behind you, sir.
I'd fire his
What does
ass.
that depict?
That's a picture of the overall contents of the trash at that location.
Now, did you go anywhere else after Albany and Garden?
We did.
Where did you go?
The next location we went to was Albany and Blue Hills Ave.
And then I'm going back to States 36. Sir, if you can take a look at the screen behind you, you can.
Wonder what
Do
made
you
her
see
think that,
the
oh, I
intersection
need
that
this
you
guy
went
to.
to on May 30th,
Boy.
2019.
I do.
And if you can, sir, please, if you can go up to the screen. Did you go to any garbage canisters that are depicted on that screen?
I did.
Which garbage canisters did you go to? For the record, upper, middle, or right side of the screen, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, did you go anywhere else?
After this?
No, in that area depicted on that screen.
No.
Now, with respect to this area on the upper right-hand corner where the cursor is, do you see that street, sir?
I do.
What street
Oh,
is
someone's
that?
playing Frogger there.
Did you seize this garbage canister itself, similar to what you did at Garden Street?
No, for this trash can, we just seized the items within it, not the actual trash.
Okay, why did you do that?
So for this particular one, We had no information that the person of interest had touched the trash can. Therefore, we did not find it necessary to seize the trash can, just the contents.
That makes
And this is
sense.
going
If the
back
court
to,
may, Attorney Manning.
yes.
Sergeant, would you identify the intersection that you identified a moment ago and pointed out?
Sure. Blue Hills Ave, Albany Street.
Is not that Adams Street and Albany Avenue?
My understanding is Blue Hills Ave.
It's not Blue Hills Avenue where the camera is, but the intersection on the right side of the video is Adams Street and Albany Avenue.
Oh,
I perhaps can clarify if I can, Your Honor. And if I may, on states 42, photo 7 has already come in through Sergeant Ventresca. Actually, sorry, it is not on here. I have to go back. Oh, I do. Thank you.
I wouldn't pay $100 an hour for that person.
And again, this is already admitted through Sergeant Ventresca.
Can
So
you at least have the exhibit number, please?
Oh,
it's still on
Let's
Exhibit
say-
42. With respect to Sergeant Ventresca, it would be on
you would think this part would go by pretty quick. You would think.
it doesn't say the date when this was. Do you have an updated? Yeah, if I can, I'll find the number on another date. Sir, do you recognize where the intersection is depicted? Is it depicted on that screen in front of you?
Make it bigger for the guy.
I know there's a restaurant I'm trying to find that can reference it.
And what's the restaurant, sir?
It's Scott's Jamaican Bakery.
Okay, and you mentioned Scott's Jamaican Bakery. Why do you recall that?
Because that restaurant, the trash can was right in front of it, and that trash can was at the corner of those intersections.
Okay, so is it safe to say you don't remember exactly the road names?
Correct.
Okay, but you remember Scott's Jamaican Bakery?
I do.
Okay. And with respect to Scott's Jamaican Bakery, going back to seats 36, sir, do you have is Scott's Jamaican Bakery depicted in that screen now?
It is.
If you could please point to it. Okay.
That's the
And-
awning from the restaurant.
Okay. With respect to that intersection in that area, did you find, or did you go to any other garbage canisters?
At this intersection, no.
You can have a seat, sir. Thank you. What did you do once you got to this intersection?
We documented the area with photographs, and then we seized the trash from that trash can at that intersection.
I'm going to have you take a look at the screen in front of you, sir. Do you recognize what's depicted on that screen?
I do.
What is depicted?
The trash can that we seized the trash from and the Scott's Jamaican Bakery.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of what that area looked like on May 30th, 2019?
It is.
Did you take that photograph?
I did.
The state would offer it, Your Honor.
No objection.
I'm
Stage
gonna
42, file 1,
actually file 2,
file 2,
picture 1.
photo 1, admitted as a full exhibit.
Thank you, sir. I'm gonna continue. If I can, just draw your attention to the screen in front of you. Do you recognize what's depicted on that photograph?
I do.
What is?
That's the overall contents of the trash before we seized it.
And is that a fair and accurate representation of what it looked like that
It
day?
is.
Did you take that photograph?
I did.
The state would offer that as well.
May I briefly plug here?
Oh my God.
This image.
Every piece that
which
they're
is
putting in.
image 2 in this folder. Was this everything that was in that receptacle when you took off the cover and peered in?
Yes.
Did you seize everything that's in this image?
Yes.
No objection.
Jesus.
Stage 42, file 2,
Picture 2.
Yeah.
photo 2, admitted as a full exhibit.
Thank you, sir. If you can continue looking at your screen in
Her
front of you.
lawyer is just
What's
like,
depicted on the screen, please?
grr.
That's the contents of the trash can once we remove the items from it.
And is that a fair and accurate representation of what the contents of the trash can look like after you remove the items?
Correct.
Did you take that photograph?
I did.
State would offer it.
And quick plug here, if I may.
Yes.
Did you take the, what we call the remnants or debris that's shown in this photograph with you? Did you clean that out or remove any of those?
That I don't recall.
He's brutal, guys.
No objection.
Stage 42,
Every
File
piece of
2.
evidence.
Picture 3.
photo 3, admitted.
We
as
don't
a
like
full
to hear his
exhibit.
voice. I wonder if he knows
Thank
that.
you. Sir, continue if you can, looking at the screen in front of you. Do you see what's depicted on the screen?
I do.
Do you recognize it?
I do.
What is it?
So that is the brown paper laid out with the location handwritten in the bottom left and the trash that we seized within the trash bag that we provided.
Is that back at the Troop H garage?
Correct.
And did you take that photograph?
I did.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of what it looked like on May 30th, 2019?
It is.
The state would offer it, Your Honor.
Again, I just want to clarify if I may.
Huh.
This isn't all the items you took out of that receptacle in front of the bakery, is it?
That's what we took.
Just what's shown in this image?
Correct.
I thought when you testified just minutes ago, we saw a picture that there were all these other items, like white bags. How is this?
Objection, Your Honor. That is
Yeah.
going to cross-examination. This is voir dire.
So the initial voir dire question was, does this bag contain all of the items that was, all of the items that were in the receptacle in front of Scott's Bakery? And the response was yes.
Maybe one clarification question.
Oh, you dickwad.
What we're actually seeing in this image isn't physically what you see out of the receptacle, is it?
Fuck off,
This is our
buddy.
trash bag with
Oh.
the trash inside of it.
But you can't see anything inside. This is
And
what
if you-
put everything in. Is that what you're telling us?
Good
Correct,
morning
in
to
this
the
photograph.
monster.
You just have a moment.
Oh, why? Like you're not even. Good
With
God.
that clarification, I have no objection.
For
Page
frick's
42,
sake.
file 2,
Photo 4.
photograph 4, admitted as a full exhibit.
Sir, take a look at the screen in front of you. Do you recognize what's depicted on that photograph?
I do.
What is depicted?
That's the trash once it's emptied out onto the brown paper in the garage.
So just to be clear, this was
I'm gonna
the
change my
trash
buy
that
me a
was
coffee
inside
to
that
buy me a
canister
tequila.
On what street?
Albany and Blue Hills or Adams,
Outside the Jamaican Bakery?
outside the Jamaican Bakery restaurant.
Okay. And what did you do with that trash?
We searched it.
Okay. Did you put the trash into a black bag?
We did.
Okay. And then when you got to Troop H, did you empty the contents of that bag?
We did.
What did you empty it onto?
Brown paper.
Is this photograph depicting that trash onto that brown paper?
It is.
Is it a fair and accurate representation of what that looked like that day?
Yes.
State would offer it.
Can I just have a moment?
Yes.
Oh my God, this guy, guys. I couldn't have that man around me. I couldn't, not for 2 frickin' seconds could I have him around me.
May I inquire just again to clarify? When you say this is
Fine,
what was
wow.
inside your large contractor bag that you brought everything out on, that we saw the prior picture, right?
Correct.
Is this how you find it in this loose state?
This is once we empty it out onto the paper.
Oh, that's what I'm trying to clarify. Is this after you emptied out of the black bag?
Correct.
This is not after you opened up any individual bags that were within the black bag?
No.
So it was in a loose state, is what you're saying, the items?
Correct.
I don't have any objection.
Stage 42, file 2.
So what is the
Photograph
purpose of
8.
this? Do you guys think? What do you think he's doing?
5, Your Honor.
5, admitted as a full exhibit.
And that would be folder 2 is admitted in its entirety at this point, if I may. Sir, I'm going to draw your attention to the screen behind you.
Oh la la.
Briefly, sir,
Oof.
just running through the photographs. This is photo 1 of file 2.
You think so?
What is depicted on that?
I'm not
screen,
getting
please?
confused. I'm getting
The
angry.
trash can in front of Scott's Jamaican Bakery.
And picture 2. What is depicted, please?
That's the contents of the trash can at that location.
Now, with respect to the contents, is this before or after you emptied it into a black bag?
That's before, that's as we found it.
And what did you then do? By the way, did you take that photograph?
I did.
What did you do after you took the photograph?
We emptied that trash into our trash bag and seized it.
Did you log it or give it an evidentiary number?
Yes.
What was that number?
I don't recall off the top of my head. I'd have to look at my report.
Do you think he's really going to confuse them? Because he's not making any points. Like he gets shut down most of the time.
Well,
And
I'm
I
actually
just
gonna move
think
on
it's
at
making
this
them
point,
look
Your Honor. I'll
horrible.
Get that after. Sir, picture 3. What does that depict?
It makes it look like they're
That's the
afraid
trash
to
can
have
once
anything
we
admitted.
removed the items from it.
Okay. With respect to the white on the bottom, can you just describe what that is?
Just miscellaneous trash.
Okay, did you seize those items?
I don't recall.
And what about down here on the bottom left, if you could see the cursor? Did you seize these items?
I don't recall.
And picture 4.
Yeah.
sir. What does that depict?
So that's a brown paper labeled Albany and Blue Hills, which is I thought were the intersection where we're at. And that's our trash bag with the contents of that trash receptacle in our trash bag.
And picture 5.
That's the contents of the trash once we emptied it out. And we're at.
I wouldn't want that
Garage
job.
in Hartford.
What day again did you seize this garbage?
May 30th.
Did you make any other stops in Albany Avenue on that day?
We did.
Where did you go?
The next location was Albany and Green Street.
He just dumped bags all over the.
Sir, I'm going to draw your attention to the.
Good on them
screen,
for
see
being able to
May
get some of this stuff.
36.
Yeah, Michelle knew nothing. They were just, this is what you do. God almighty.
Now I'm gonna draw your attention to the screen behind you, sir.
Oh, there's a good garbage can. Oh, just about out of bags. Oh, Yui, right there. Not suspicious at all. What's he doing?
I'm gonna pause it there. Do you see the intersection that you went to that day?
I do.
Is it depicted on the screen?
It is.
If you wouldn't mind, sir, please going up and pointing to that intersection. In the upper left-hand corner, if I can. Is there a garbage canister in that corner, sir?
It is. It's right here.
And with respect to the streets, do you know what the street names are?
And again, he's not even driving his own vehicle. It's a borrowed vehicle
Here, I believe, is Green
from an
Street.
employee.
Do you know what the building is at the corner?
I don't.
Now, when you got to that intersection, what did you do?
We photographed the area and searched the trash in that trash can.
When you say you searched the trash in that trash can, did you do it on site?
No,
When you were there on Albany Avenue in that intersection, what exactly did you do there?
all right, so we photographed it. We checked there was trash in that trash can. And then we took the trash from that trash can, put it into our trash bag and brought it back to the Troop H barracks.
Was that another black bag?
It was.
And did you search it on scene or go through that bag at all while you were on Albany Avenue?
No,
And did you go to when you say barracks, is that Troop H?
correct, Troop H.
Okay, you can have a seat, sir.
Jeez.
And go back to seats 42.
Not suspicious
please.
at all.
File
You know,
3.
what you do. Throw away garbage full of your wife's DNA and, take your girlfriend along that knows what. Nothing? Not
I'm going
convinced.
to ask you, sir, to take a look at the screen in front of you. Do you recognize what's depicted on that?
I do.
What is it?
That's an overall photograph of the trash can and the street signs of the location where we were at.
Did you take that photograph?
I did.
And is it a fair and accurate representation of that intersection?
It is.
Okay, State would, actually, I believe this might have already gone in, but State would offer it anyway. If I may move on, I believe that went in through another witness. Photograph 2, sir.
I haven't seen his
Do
bow
you
tie
recognize
yet
what's
today.
depicted in that photograph?
I do.
Is depicted in that photograph?
This is just a different view of the trash can at that location, Albany and Green Street.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of what it looked like that day?
It is.
Did you take that photograph as well?
I did.
State would offer 2 as well, Your Honor. And then if I can, one more. 3, sir, what is depicted in that photograph?
That's an overall view of the trash can at that location, Albany and Green Street.
Is this file 3 or file 2?
This is file
Yeah,
3,
but-
Your Honor.
I don't know what
File
happened there.
3, photographs 1, 2, and 3 admitted as full exhibit.
Everything just went black. No, I don't think it was me. It could have been.
Will not go on. There you go. You can take a look at the screen behind you, sir. And what's depicted in that photograph, please?
Yeah, overall view of the area where the trash can that we searched.
And that's is the trash can depicted in that photograph?
It is.
And is that the bottom middle of the
I think
photograph?
so.
Yes.
Thank you. File 2 or file 3, picture 2. What is that?
That's just a different view of the trash can and the street signs at that location.
And picture 3.
Overall view of the trash can prior to searching.
Now, with respect to searching it, what did you utilize the same procedure that you utilized in Blue Hills, Adam, the bakery, Jamaican bakery, and Milagros?
Yes.
And what procedure is that?
Basically, we documented it with photographs first, and then we took the trash contents from that trash can, placed it into our trash bag, and transported it back to Troop H in Hartford.
I'm going to show you a photograph in front of you, picture 4.
I
Do you
sure hope
recognize what's
so.
depicted in that photograph?
I do.
What is depicted in that photograph?
That's the contents of the trash prior to us seizing it. That's as we found it.
Okay, now as you found it, this is prior to you putting it into a garbage bag?
Correct.
Okay, did anybody touch it or move it or go through it at that point?
No.
Okay. What did you do after taking this photograph?
We removed that trash, put it into our trash bag, and transported it back to Troop H.
Did you take a photograph of the garbage can with the items removed?
Yes,
I'm going to show you picture 5. Is that a fair and accurate representation of the garbage canister after the items were removed?
it is.
And did you take that photograph as well?
I did.
State would offer 4 and 5, Your Honor.
Is there an objection?
Tylenol time, guys. I'm injured. The fiber is a bitch, man.
I have no objection.
So stage 42, file 2 or
File
3?
3.
File 3, photos 4 and 5,
Yes, sir.
admitted as a full exhibit.
Oh,
Thank you. Sir, do you see that picture behind you?
I do.
Now, I want to draw your attention to, by the way, is this a photograph of the garbage prior to you seizing it?
It is.
I'm going to draw your attention up to this white piece right here. Do you see that object?
I do.
Was that how it appeared in 2019 on the garbage?
It was.
Okay. Did you later find out to be what that item was?
I did.
What is it?
It's zip ties.
And down here, this piece right here, if you can see this cursor, you can describe that, please.
Yep. So originally I thought it was a clear plastic trash bag. I later identified it as a poncho.
And what color is it?
It's clear with red blood-like substance in it.
And here, this red bent object, you see the cursor, sir?
I do.
Was that what it appeared like in the garbage that day?
It was.
And did you later find what it was?
I did.
What is it?
It's a bent mop or broom handle.
Did you take the entire contents of this garbage?
I did.
Did you bring it to Troop H and
Yes.
do the same process that you did before?
Same process as the other trash cans.
And were you able to go through this garbage canister when you arrived in Troop H?
I was.
And briefly, picture 5, is that the garbage after it had been removed?
Yes.
And these loose items on the bottom, did you take those?
I don't recall.
Sir, I'm going to show you the photo in front of you. Do you recognize what's depicted on that photograph? This is photo 6.
I do.
Franky. What is it?
So that's brown paper with the location.
I'm looking
Albany,
for it.
Green Street, written in a marker. And that's our trash bag with the contents of the trash that we found at that location in the Troop H garage.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of your trash bag containing the contents of Albany and Green garbage canister on May 30th, 2019?
It is.
Thank you. And I'm going to show you one more. Picture 7. Do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
I do.
What is depicted in that photograph?
That's the overall contents once we emptied it out onto the brown paper.
And is that a fair and accurate representation of the contents of the garbage canister that you put in the black bag on May 30th, 2019 out of Albany and Green?
It is.
State would offer 6 and 7.
No, I'm gonna do it during the break. Good catch though,
No
Frank.
objection. State 42, file 3,
I
photos 6 and
appreciate
7
that.
admitted as a full exhibit.
Sir, if you could take a look behind you. If you again, please could just describe what's depicted on that photograph.
So this is in the Troop H garage. And basically it's brown paper with Albany and Green Street. That's the location of where we seized the trash from. And this is our trash bag with the trash contents that we seized in the trash bag.
And picture 7.
That's the trash once it's emptied out onto the brown paper. That's the contents of the trash.
And I'm going to draw your attention
They're clearing
to
our
that
roads
photograph,
again.
please. And we talked about the white objects. Are those depicted here?
They are.
And what is this?
Those are zip ties.
Did you seize items out of this
Mm.
garbage?
We did.
container? Okay. I'm going to draw your attention as well to, I believe what we just, in the photograph preceding
that?
in the garbage contained in the can. Is that this, I guess, you called it a poncho?
I did.
Is that this item down here?
It is.
Look at
with
that.
respect
Oh
to-
my God.
This item, this, can you please describe it?
So that's a black trash bag, which we opened and later found a long sleeve shirt and a bra.
And could you describe the
Brutal.
long sleeve shirt and the bra, please?
Long sleeve shirt is cut. It's a Vineyard Vines shirt, and it is covered in a blood-like substance along with the bra.
And is the
Brutal.
bra cut as well?
God, what did
Yes.
they do?
Covered in the blood-like substance?
Yes,
Did you cut?
Sorry, I don't know who
you
that
open
is,
this bag?
Chopper.
I did.
Good to see you though.
Draw your attention up here to the mop. Is that also what was contained in that garbage canister in that picture that we saw?
It was.
Now, over here,
Jesus.
this item, sir, what is it?
It's a razor blade.
And did you seize that as well?
I did.
And as
Oh
you
my
went through
God.
this garbage, sir, did you take individual photographs of each of the items?
I did.
How did you do that?
So
Brutal. I didn't
overall
realize that
trash
she was that hurt.
was identified as exhibit number 502. Any item of evidence that we seized from the trash can was given a letter. So for example, 502A, 502B.
And briefly, if I can, I'm going to go through some photographs with you. Sir, if you can, take a look at the screen in front of you.
Oh my God,
The,
Danny, really?
Monitor to the jury is off.
Brutal.
Do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
I do.
Hope she gets
What is
life.
depicted in that photograph?
That's the later
I don't
identified as
know.
a poncho
No.
with a blood-like substance on it.
I don't,
Did you seize
Chopper.
that as evidence?
I did.
And
But it
give
was
the
just
number?
explained to me,
Yes,
so I hope
502.
she
And did you take that photograph?
fries.
I did.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of what it looked like?
It is.
With respect to the bottom corner, there's some, I guess, markings on the bottom. Is that what it looked like that day as well?
It is.
What is that?
The trash was wet and it was leaking.
And is that from that, I guess, 502A?
Yes.
And over here on the right, what is that? Or left, I should say.
That's what I believed is flakings from, part of it was dry, part of it was wet. And that's what fell onto the paper as we opened it up.
Unreal.
And is this photograph
Chopper,
a
that
fair
is
and accurate
unreal.
representation of 502A?
It is.
State would
Do you know
offer
what time that is?
502A.
No objection. 502A admitted as a full exhibit.
Oh, that's right. Photograph 8 out of, or
Well,
502A.
States 42, file 3, photograph 8.
Is that
Admitted as a full
Eastern?
exhibit.
Sir, did you seize this item?
I did.
Okay, and with respect to seizing it, if I may just have a moment, Your Honor. If I may just defer.
If it's something that I can manage, I'll do that. You guys?
It's 43 for ID. If you want their gloves right. Do you recognize that item?
I do.
What is it?
Basically, this is a evidence bag with exhibit 502A, which is the poncho with blood-like substance within it.
How do you know?
Because there's an evidence label on it.
Okay. Is there a, and has it gone,
It did. It looks like it went to the state laboratory.
and by the way, well, the state would offer it, Your Honor. Jason Sessions is open.
No objection. So that's
There's
state
so many, you
43.
know, guys. It's just like, oh my
State
God.
43 admitted as a full
And
exhibit.
one's is equally as bad as the other. Do they have DP where she's at?
If I may just have a moment, Your Honor.
Yes.
Do you guys know if that's 350 Eastern? I'll watch for it. Okay. Okay. If it's something I can do, I will. Yeah, what state? There we go. That might help me.
Sir, do you recognize this item?
I do.
What is it?
That's exhibit number 502A. That's what was a clear poncho with blood-like substance.
It was a clear
Jesus.
poncho?
Yes.
So with respect to the poncho that I'm holding, up here on, I don't know if you can see it, sir, but on the top, it looks like there are cuts.
Yes.
Was that in that condition when you seized it that day?
Yes.
And there
Oh my
are,
God, guys, what did they
I
do?
guess, numerous markings and things on this. Do you know what that is?
No.
Do you know if this went to the lab at all?
I do know it went to the lab.
And did they take action on it?
They did.
Going to ask you actually to just take a look at the top, the ends edging on here. You see this red like markings?
I
on the
do.
edge? Did that look like that photograph all over this poncho when you picked it up that day?
Yes.
And you indicated with respect to the stuff on the bottom of the photograph up there, that it was from this item.
Yes.
Do you know which part it was from?
No, when we took it out, a lot of it was wet, so it was just leaking everywhere.
Thank you. Let me just have one moment here.
Get there fast, Tony. We'll stream you. Eastern time? Okay, thank you.
Yes, if you can, would you mind? Thank you. Yeah, shut up. May I have a moment, counsel?
Much appreciated, Tony.
If I may approach the clerk, Your Honor, welcome.
That poncho was supposed to be clear. Like, what the hell did they do to her?
No objection. You can.
If you wouldn't mind, Your Honor, I may need assistance from Attorney Moran with the photograph. I believe exhibit 42 can be admitted with no objection.
Exhibit 42, admitted as a full exhibit.
Thank you. The rest of it. Yes, the next one.
File 3, picture 9.
File 3, picture 9. Sir, I'm going to draw your attention to the screen behind you. Do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
I do.
What is it?
That's another clear trash, well, that's a clear bag with a blood-like substance on it.
Is this, did you later learn whether this was a poncho as well?
I don't remember.
I may approach Your Honor to show you case 44. Do you recognize that?
I do.
And what do you recognize this to be?
That's the package that item number 502B is contained in.
Did you give it the item number 502B?
I did.
And what is 502B?
Basically a clear plastic bag with blood-like substance on it.
State would offer 44.
That's that. No objection.
State 44, admitted as a full exhibit.
Oh my God, Dandy, 69 pounds. What the hell?
I do.
What is this item?
That's exhibit 502B, which was a clear plastic bag with blood-like substance, later identified as a poncho.
Now, there's a lot of like grayness on this.
Yes,
Do you know what that is?
I do.
What is it?
It's a fingerprint powder.
You know, this item.
Oh.
To the lab.
Yes, it did go to the lab.
I'm gonna actually draw your attention over here to the, I guess, left side. Do you recognize what's depicted on the left side of this item?
I do.
What's depicted on the left side of this item?
It's a blood-like substance.
Is that in the same condition as the day you seized it from May 30th, 2000?
Yes,
Now, you indicated the other poncho was wet in some parts.
yes.
Was this one?
I don't recall.
Thank you, Dandy.
Look at the screen as well, on the
Thank you.
upper right. What is depicted on that photograph?
That's remnants from the bag transferred onto the brown paper.
I agree. I agree.
It is 11:15 now. Attorney Manning, do you wish to take the morning recess now?
May I just take a look at what is the next one? We can take the recess now, Your Honor.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll stand in our morning recess. Please do not discuss the case. We will return at 11:35.
All right.
Oh, it blows me away how much is on this stuff. I Had no idea. So let's do this, guys. Goodness, listen to this for a minute. It's a treat for us. This is Tony's place.
Darkness falls, it gets hard to see what my life has in store for me. Oh, it makes me want to scream when I'm standing in the pouring rain. I feel like my hands are tied up in these rusty chains. I travel my mind for answers, you see. The answer tonight that will set me free. You know it makes me want to scream when I'm standing in the pouring rain. I feel like my hands are tied up in these rusty chains.
Damn good. Let me tell you.
I think of a night when I see red. When the ghost man calls, you wish you were dead. Oh, it makes me want to scream when I'm standing in the pouring rain. I feel like my hands are tied up in these rusty chains.
Damn, Tony. Good job, man. Good job. We need more. We need more of that. So we can be sharing, right? Isn't that amazing, guys? Like, wow. Absolutely freaking amazing. That there is what you call talent. Yeah, fill it up, friend. Throw it into Discord and we'll play them during breaks because let me tell you, you're awesome. You are awesome. Yeah, no word of a lie. Can we throw Tony's link up actually? If anybody can, I'd appreciate it. Yeah, very impressive, friend. I had to mute myself out because I I was singing along and I'm thinking, oh God, everyone's gonna go freaking deaf. I've got oh my God, drums and Jesus criminy. A cowbell. Nice. I got like a didgeridoo type thing. There we are. Thank you. Check him out, guys. Like unreal. Unreal. Share it out too. Let everybody hear what Tony can do. Pretty bloody amazing. I think he does. I think he does. Next. Yeah, just awesome. Absolutely awesome. It gets you anything that can you start to listen and right away you're like jamming, you're moving around. It's like, yeah. And Tony, that's my kind of music. It is like bam. You know, some people like there's some really, really bad people that no talent that make it. Tony should have made it. This is a guy that should have made it. And he plays all the different instruments. It's like, oh my God, man. Yes, fill him up. We want to rock with Tony. Yeah, pretty awesome, friend. Merci. Oh my God. Yeah, just amazing. The voice is incredible. And obviously, you're a writer, right? So you write, sing, and play all the instruments. That's talent. That's talent. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Yeah, like I said, I had to mute myself out right away. I'm singing along and I'm thinking, oh God, these poor people, that's not what they want to hear. I'm more like nails down a chalkboard. Oh my God, yeah. So what do you guys think? What's going to happen when Saul gets a chance to at this guy? It's going to be painful. It's going to be painful. I'm telling you. And I had no freaking idea how much DNA was all over her. Like, are you kidding me? Oh my God, what the frick did they do to her? Her poor kids, right? Her poor kids. Like, oh, okay. Okay. I think I heard about that. I didn't get into it, but I think I heard about it. I'll check it out. I appreciate that. Thank you, Chopper. There's so many. Like, and if I could stay awake 24/7, I would just to stream all of these dickwads, you know? Oh no. No, no. Really? Yeah. Yeah, really appreciate it, friend. Oh my God. No. I agree with you. I agree with you. And are you kidding me? Whoa. Oh my God. Unreal. No, autocorrect sucks. Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, just because they're pretty on the outside doesn't mean they're not all messed up on the inside. What's that song? She ain't pretty, she just looks that way. Yeah, yeah. She ain't pretty, she just looks that way. And yeah, you see it over and over and over and over. Look at Lori Daybell. Look at that mess. And she's going to trial again for helping to delete her husband, which, yeah, yeah. I mean, oh, we're just going to leave the house. And in the meantime, don't do anything. Wow. Right? Unreal. Actually, I do believe that her daughter might have seen some of this. It's just, yeah, it's brutal. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, my son's going to be 31 here in a couple months, and I'm still that way with him. I'm still like, you don't want to go there? I will hunt you down. And it won't be pretty. That's my personality. So you see what people can do to kids, and it's just like, yeah, that's what it's just all bad. It brings out nothing in me that feels good. It just makes me instantly pissed. Yeah. Yep. Agreed. Okay, so let me see here. Karen Reed, I think, is in court today, isn't she? Just looking. I'm not seeing anything. I'm just seeing the letters, and we're going to do that at 3. What do you guys think of Gypsy Rose? Oh, I bet you he can rock a lot of songs. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah, we all want more of Tony, don't we? Isn't that awesome? Do you guys want to hear that song again? I can bring it up. If not, we'll do it again later during lunch or something just before we go, just before we start. Maybe that's a good way to do it. Just remind me. So yeah, I didn't find anything, but maybe something will pop up later. Let me look at let's see. It's happening, have it down, right? And I don't. Turtle Boys at 9 a.m. on January 25th. Jury selection for Adam Montgomery, February 6th. Great. Well said. Oh, nice. Let me see here. I think I have time for this. Let's check it out. In blue.
Cruising down the road with a loaded 45. Got nowhere special to be. Me and my partner searching the streets, looking for some scumbags to meet. If you're causing trouble, you better beware of my partner and me. Cause we're on a mission to clean up this town, my brothers and me. Nowhere to run to, nowhere to hide, nowhere to run to. We're gonna get you every time. Yeah.
Attention all units. Attention all units. Robbery at the so-and-so liquor. Please be advised. Proceed with caution.
Call comes on the radio, robbery at the liquor store. All units rushing to. The man with the gun, he's got nowhere to run. Yeah, he got nothing to lose. So I pull my 45, tell him you don't want to die. Let's try to wait this through. We don't even care, but his hands are in the air. Time to cuff this fool. Nowhere to run to, nowhere to hide, nowhere to run to. We're gonna get you every time. Nowhere to
Great job, Tony. Great job. And we're ready to
You
go.
can bring the jury in.
That's nice. That was a nice break, actually, Tony. Thank you. Oh, that's good. That makes me happy, friend. Good on you, Shauna. You got this, girl. Oh my God, what is Saul gonna do when it's his turn? Oh my word.
Would counsel stipulate, please?
Yes, sure.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Attorney Manning.
Sergeant Duggan is the please. Thank you.
It really is, Maxie. Yep. Boom. Boom.
So when we left off, I'm going to show you actually what's been marked as. Next one is, yes, please. File 3, picture 10, out of states 42. If you could take a look behind you, sir. And what does that say?
That's an overall picture of a sponge that we found within the trash.
Now, look above the sponge, the photograph. In the photograph, there's dots and other stuff on the brown paper. Can you explain what those are?
The sponge was wet, and there was debris attached to the sponge when we removed it from the trash.
What do you mean by debris?
Like
Damn straight you are.
material.
Damn straight you are.
Depicted on that photograph?
It is.
If you wouldn't mind standing up at the screen, please.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed.
Center to middle upper part of the photograph, is that correct?
Yes.
You know, on the left side, sort of where you're standing, the photograph, there's
Can't hear her very good.
Just dirt and debris.
it's kind of in a pattern. Is that a?
Might be a footprint.
And did you move that? Would that be one of your footprints or another state police troopers?
Probably mine.
Did you take this photograph?
I did.
Sir, if you can have a seat. I'm just going to show you, actually. Show you stage 45 is. Do you recognize that?
I do.
What is it?
That's evidence packaging. That's the sponge is in evidence packaging.
Is that 502C, what we see depicted on that photograph behind you?
It is.
Thank you. Stay able to offer it.
No problem.
No objection.
States 45 admitted as a full exhibit.
May I publish it?
Yes.
Thank you.
They're showing a lot of evidence that proves that she's probably been deleted. Now they have to tie it
Sir, is
a
that
little
sponge
bit
that
more
you
to
seized out of the
Michelle,
package?
right? That's what we're waiting
is.
for. Good Lord.
No, sir, if I can, I'm going to draw your attention to the red marks on the, if I hold it lengthwise, upper right-hand side. Do you see those?
I do.
Do you know where those came from?
I believe.
Let me ask you a preliminary question, but actually before I do that. Did this item go to the lab?
It did.
It did, okay. And with respect to these markings, would those be from the lab?
They would be from the lab.
Okay. Do you have any, you don't have any knowledge about that?
No.
Move on, please, to file 3, picture 11. Oh, what's that one? Yeah, thank you. Sir, take a look behind you. Do you recognize that?
I do.
What is depicted on that photograph?
It's a black glove that was found within the trash contents.
And did you seize that as evidence?
I did.
Did you give it an evidence number?
I did. 502D.
I'm going to show you.
So they should have DNA on the inside of that too, right?
Mark as stage 46. Do you recognize this item, sir?
I do.
What is that item?
It's Exhibit 502D in evidence packaging.
And did you seize this?
I did.
State would offer it.
No objection.
That states
Oh,
46.
no objection.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
States 46 admitted as a full exhibit.
Just
May I
stay
follow,
sitting
Your
down.
Yes.
I may just have a moment, counsel.
Congratulations.
Yeah, just have one moment, Your Honor. Sir, with respect to 46, did that also go to the lab?
It did.
So they should have DNA on the inside to determine who was wearing those gloves. Look, if it comes back to her, that would be good. They're lucky they were able to get all this stuff. Like, she was looking down, helping them, I do believe.
If I may just approach this clerk, Your Honor.
Yes.
Go get him and her and whoever else is involved. Like, was she there when this actually happened? That's what we need to see. So whose DNA is on the inside of that glove?
So this is gonna be 47, the glove is 46.
46, if these items can please be marked as 46A for ID solely.
Thank you. 46A for ID.
Thank you.
I don't cook, but I eat a lot. So, hey, that's a good mix.
Sir, do you recognize this item?
I do.
What is it?
It's a black glove. It's Exhibit 502D.
Did you seize this from the garbage that day?
I did.
No. It's not a very big glove, but I don't think he was a very big man either. So,
So I'm gonna have you take a look at the screen behind you. Do you recognize that? This is photograph 12.
I do.
What is it?
It's a pair of gloves.
Did you take that from the scene from the garbage can that day?
I did.
so what? They have two pairs of gloves?
Why did you seize these gloves as evidence?
So upon inspection of the gloves, there was a blood-like substance on both sets of gloves. Therefore, we seized them as a pair.
Where on the glove did you find blood-like substance?
Multiple areas on the glove.
Could you please describe them, please?
If you zoom in on the picture, I can point to the areas.
If you wouldn't mind getting up there. If you-
So if you zoom in on this area, you can see specks of blood on the glove.
Did you observe that when you went through the garbage on May 30th, 2019?
I did.
Any other areas?
In different photographs that'll show.
If you can, I think this is 13. Is this the other side of the gloves?
Yep.
Is
Yes.
Is there an area depicted on the back of the gloves that has blood-like substance? And is that the emblem, I guess?
It
Is
is
that a good way to say that?
logo of the glove.
Jeez.
And could you picture 14? Sir, what about the
So
palm?
2 sets of gloves.
So there's specks of blood-like substance on the palm, and there's a blood-like substance on the edge of the glove as well.
And you observed that day?
I did.
Oh, yeah.
You seize these gloves as evidence?
I did.
Let me show you what's been marked as states 47. Do you recognize that?
I do.
What is states 47?
Those are the gloves within evidence packaging.
I have no objection, Your Honor. State would offer 47 if I may publish.
States 47 admitted as a full exhibit.
Okay, thank you. If I can, there's actually 2 more photographs. And 15, please. Sir, is that a close-up of the palm?
It's a close-up of the palm, and you can see specks of blood-like staining on the glove.
Thank you. And picture 16, what does that depict?
That's a picture of the logo on the glove. There's blood-like staining on the logo of the glove.
Thank you. You can have a seat, sir.
Like, what the hell did they do to her? Brutal. There's a lot of DNA loss all over this stuff.
I'll show you one at a time, sir. If I may. Do you recognize what this item?
I do.
The 2 pair of gloves are
The
interesting.
blood-like stain that you were discussing.
It does.
If you could perhaps, if I may stand over here, Your Honor.
Yes.
Sir, if you could just point out on the glove where the area was.
Look at that, my God. Do you think they took her apart after? Is that why we're seeing all this stuff?
And for the record,
And they're not finding her yet?
I guess, middle of the glove, the palm, where the fingers. I may just.
Oh my God, these
And the
people.
other,
So again, there'll be DNA on the inside and outside, right? Because the person wearing the glove will have left their DNA on the inside.
is there anything on this glove?
And these gloves are more, they're larger. So if I was to think, I'd think that this would be Follis and the other
In the
one would
lower left.
be Michelle, in my opinion. We'll have to wait and see. But that's kind of the way it's looking to me.
So if you could take a look at the screen behind you, this is photograph 17. Do you recognize that?
I do.
What is depicted in that
Yeah,
photograph?
what is
It's
that?
a black bag.
And did that come out of the garbage
It did.
on Albany
What-
and Green?
What was
Yeah.
that for? Glasses, maybe?
What was it?
It was just a black bag with a blood-like substance on the bag.
It may approach states 48, sir. Do you recognize that item?
I do.
What is that item?
It's the black bag within evidence packaging.
Is it the same black bag that is contained on that photograph behind you?
It is.
The state would offer it.
No objection.
48, Your Honor, may I publish?
Stage 48 admitted as
That's
a full
unreal.
exhibit, you may publish.
What was this for? I don't know what the bag would have been for. Where'd Tony go? Maybe he's moving his music over for us. So do you think that's why there's all this DNA? Did they take her apart afterwards? Oh, it's bigger than I thought, this bag.
Is this the item that came out?
It is.
Sir, I should ask you, why the brown paper bags? Why are things packaged in brown paper bags?
Brown paper bags is the best way to preserve these types of evidence. It allows the material to breathe.
That makes sense because
Does
you'd
it,
end up with mold
If it
otherwise.
was placed in a plastic bag, and could that potentially damage
It
any
could.
evidence contained? Sir, take a look at the screen behind you. So that is photograph
The keys are interesting.
18. Do you recognize what's depicted on that photograph?
I do.
What is it?
It's a set of keys that were found within the trash. Those were given evidence exhibit 502G.
So are they
Use them as well
for
evidence?
I did.
Jennifer's house?
Ma'am, my dear. This set of keys that we're seeing on the screen there, did you attempt to fit them to anything?
I did not know.
You know, if anyone tried to fit them to anything?
That I-
Objection.
Well,
Yeah.
this is not voir dire.
No, it's about relevance.
Well,
Jesus.
I'll withdraw it, Your Honor, to move it along. If
thank
he
you.
wishes to vote here.
Yeah, exactly, to move it along because this guy's a pain in the ass.
You may proceed.
You withdraw. Oh, if she's withdrawing the offer, then I'm withdrawing the objection.
I'm not withdrawing the offer. I objected to his question. If he wishes
Right.
to inquire, Your
Well,
Honor, I want to leave this up.
The
but I object to
question,
his question.
this is voir dire by the defense. The question was, did you try to fit these keys to anything?
And your answer was,
I did not.
so my objection is just relevance.
Well, they haven't been offered.
I have offered them, Your Honor. They were seized out of the garbage that day on Albany Avenue. He answered, he took a photograph of it.
I know.
and what is contained in that photograph.
I
This
know.
item is what is contained in that photograph that he took. He
And
seized
what
it.
would be the number if you
It is 49.
offer them? Thank you. And the objection is to the offer, correct?
Yes, on the basis, well, not relevant to Mr. Troconis, but I would also submit it's not relevant to the case. It was something that was found in a garbage bag that is not followed up with anything as far as I know.
Well, let's walk through this again. The offer's been made. These keys were seized out of the location at Albany and Green. The offer is as a full exhibit. The objection is relevant.
Yes, Your Honor, and if I may, anything that comes out of that garbage is in the state's view relevant. If I wanted to introduce a piece of rice, I would be here asking that, and it'd be up to the court to make that call, because I do feel that anything that is contained in that garbage can is pertinent to this case one way or another, whether excluding or including in this case, but also just for the fact that for the police investigation, my offer would be, Your Honor, that the police did take steps with respect to these keys after they were seized. So that will come in as well. So with respect to the offer of proof, this is the exhibit 49 is the item that is seized on that day on May 30th in Albany Avenue. The witness testified that he took a photograph of it, he labeled it, and it was seized as evidence. So the state would offer it.
Well, however, in each of the other offers, the state asked, what led you to seize the particular item? The court did not hear that question with regard to this item.
Well, to be fair, Your Honor, I don't believe I asked that until after, with respect to the ponchos, they had been admitted without objection from counsel. So then I proceeded to ask that.
Why are they arguing over keys? Like, this guy's
So,
ridiculous.
if Your Honor wishes, I can continue more with respect to this, but I can ask.
Well, the
him.
court is going to sustain the relevance objection because simply retrieving the item from the garbage may have been the decision
Mexi.
of Sergeant Duggan, but the relevance is not clear, so that's sustained.
Ridiculous. Like, why does this arsehole have to
I
continue
do.
delaying this?
Picture 19, sir, what is that?
It's a picture of zip ties.
Did you find those out of the garbage on Albany Avenue that day?
I did.
And did you package them and bring them back to Troop H?
I did.
You did. And with respect to these items, did you then subsequently separate them from the other items?
Yes.
Similar to you did every item that was contained in that garbage can?
Yes.
And did you photograph it?
Yes.
And did you then seize it as an evidentiary number?
Yes.
What evidentiary number did you seize it as?
502H.
And why did you seize it?
So on the zip ties, there's a blood-like substance on several areas of the zip ties. And I
So
found
what were they doing with these damn
Also,
zip
by the
ties?
way, you testified earlier that you were searching the garbage cans. Were you aware of Jennifer Dulos' disappearance?
I was.
And were you aware that the Ford Raptor was seen on video depositing garbage bags the night of Jennifer Dulos' disappearance?
I was.
So would you feel that zip ties would be relevant for the investigation into the disappearance of Jennifer Dulos?
I'm going to object. What he felt, again, is not relevant. And what's relevant is what the court decides. I'm not objecting to this.
God, sit the
But I'm
frick
objecting to the
down.
question, letting him give his subjective opinion about what's relevant to the case.
Well, there's already been testimony that there was a blood-like substance on the zip tie.
Yes.
So that suggests that the relevance objection is overruled.
I didn't make.
Yes.
I was objecting to the question of asking him to opine as to what he thought.
Well, there's already been testimony that there was a blood-like substance
Yes.
on the zip tie.
Yes.
And if I may, Your Honor?
Yes.
Every single item.
So I'm
Well,
gonna show you
I
what's
think
in
he's
front
missed a
of
couple,
States 50.
but not many.
Do you recognize this item?
I do.
What is contained within this, or what is this item?
It's the zip ties contained within evidence packaging.
And are these the zip ties that you seized out of the garbage that day on Albany Avenue on May 30th, 2019?
They are.
Are they the zip ties that you saw?
There's the sirens again.
On them?
They are.
And are they the zip ties that you seized for 502H?
Yes.
I would ask to publish it at this time.
Yes.
Thank you. Now, sir, did these also go to the lab?
They did.
And how many zip ties were found in that bag? Do you
There were
recall?
4 pieces of zip tie.
Yeah, you
What
say
did they use
pieces.
these for?
Why do you say that?
They're big.
Because the zip ties were cut.
I can you please put on some gloves, sir? If I may. Now, just briefly, with respect to the zip ties, you said that you indicated there was a blood-like substance. If you can, sir, I'm going to hand you over the zip ties. If you could please show the jury where that substance is contained therein. And for the record, it would be at the, is that the tie?
I think you dropped something.
Oh. Thank you. If you could just explain where the blood-like substance is contained within that.
On this connector piece. And then on the other end of the zip tie.
And is that a tie that has been cut?
Yes.
Where? Thank you. I'm going to hand you another one, please. And by the way, if I can, just to be clear, these have little tags on them. The one you looked at, is it labeled 52-2?
Yes.
And what is the one that you have in front of you?
52-4.
If you could take a look at 52-4 for me, please. Is that one cut?
No, it's not.
And does it contain any of the blood-like substance that you saw that day?
It does.
If you could please point to where it was. And is that at the end?
It is.
Thank you. I'm going to show you 52-3. You could take a look at that. Is that zip tie intact?
I'm looking forward to finding out what this was
This zip
used
tie is
for.
intact.
I really am.
And is there any blood-like substance on that zip tie?
There does not appear to be.
Did that zip tie go to the lab as well?
It did.
I'm going to show you. See, it's 52 dash. Well, what's been marked as 52-1 along with it. Is that zip tie intact?
It is.
And is there any blood-like substance on there that you could see today sitting here 4 years later?
It does not appear to be, no.
If we can, if you could take a look at the screen behind you, sir, with respect to the photograph, I will take that back. Thank you.
Jeez,
If you can, sir, do you see those
brutal.
zip ties depicted in that photograph?
I do.
Okay. Now, you indicated there were 2 that were cut. Are the 2 that were cut depicted on that photograph?
Yeah.
If you could please stand up and point to it for the jury. And the other 2, were those intact?
Those are intact.
On the top one, see on the end of it, where the cursor is, what is that?
That's a blood-like substance.
Thank you. You can have a seat, sir. You can't move on to the next one. Oh, that's the other side of the zip ties. Can you take a look at that behind you, sir? Which one is that? 21. And does that also depict the state of the zip ties that day on May 30th, 2019?
It does.
Thank you. You can have a seat. Sir, take a look behind you. You recognize?
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I do.
What is depicted?
It's a white bath towel.
And was that in the garbage canister at Albany and Green on May 30th,
guys.
2019?
It was.
Did you seize that as evidence, sir?
I did.
Why?
It was a white bath towel with a lot of blood-like substance on the towel.
And was that what it looked like in 2019?
Yes.
I'm gonna show you what's been marked as States 51. Do you recognize that?
I do.
What exactly is this item?
That's the bath towel within evidence packaging.
And was that the 502I?
Yes.
State would offer at this time, Your Honor.
No objection. And what is the exhibit number, please?
51.
States 51 admitted as a full exhibit.
May I publish?
Yes.
He's a dog. No dog. No, no dog. He's a little dog.
Sir, is this what the towel looked like that day back in 2019?
It is.
I bet they got fingerprints off that as well.
Thank you. Did this also go to the lab?
It did.
So I'm going to show you what's on the screen behind you.
What?
What is that, sir?
That is evidence exhibit 502J, which is a mop or broom handle that's broken.
And did you seize that out of the garbage at Albany and Green that day?
I did.
Why did you seize that?
Because there's a blood-like substance on it.
Where is the blood-like substance?
You mind if I get up?
If you wouldn't mind, please.
On this portion of the mop handle? And of that portion of the mop handle.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to show you what's been marked as States 52. Do you recognize?
What the hell?
I do.
What is it?
That's the mop handle within evidence packaging.
Is this the mop handle that you seized that day that came out of the garbage of Albany and Green on May 30th, 2019?
It is.
What did he use or they use that for?
No objection. States 52 admitted as a full exhibit.
May I publish?
Yes.
Sir, did this also go to the lab?
It did.
What did they use that for?
Now, sir, when you indicated on the photograph what area had a blood-like stain, if you could, if I hold it up here, if you could please show the jury on the actual item where you saw the stain.
So it's in this area?
About the handle
Yes.
side? Was it bent in this position?
Correct, yes.
And what about this piece here? Was there anything attached to it?
No.
Wow. They found a lot. All I got is dumb.
Good to me. So I'm gonna take a look behind you. Do you recognize that item?
I do.
What is depicted in that photograph?
It's a set of trash bags.
Did you seize that as evidence in this case?
I did.
Why did you seize that as evidence?
I found that relevant, and I knew, based on information given to us, that
Thanks,
the person
Shauna.
of interest had dumped trash within trash bags within the trash receptacles on Albany Ave.
So you were actually aware at the time that they were in garbage bags.
Yes,
So did you seize the garbage bags themselves?
yes,
Is that why, one of the reasons why you seized 502K?
yes.
And is it, do you know if there, how many bags are contained in 502K?
I don't.
And is it knotted in the middle?
It is.
Did you find that unusual?
I did.
Is that one of the factors that why you seized it that day?
Yes,
And was that contained inside Albany Avenue and Green on 5/30/2019?
it was.
May I approach the clerk, Your Honor?
Yes.
Now, with respect to the garbage bags that you were informed that the suspect, were you informed it's Photos Dulos?
Yes,
Were you informed that Photos Dulos was placing garbage bags in Albany Avenue and given those addresses?
yes,
I'm gonna show you what's been marked as case 53. Do you recognize this item?
I do.
What is this item?
That's exhibit 502K, which is the trash bags within evidence packaging.
Now, were there other trash bags that came out of 502?
They've got a lot of evidence. How much of this is going to point
Did
to
you seize
Michelle?
those as well?
I did.
Did you seize every black garbage bag that came out of that garbage can?
Phylos was
And was
sunk.
that because of the information that you had received?
Yes,
Did that item that's depicted in that photograph subsequently go to the lab?
yes,
At this point, the state would offer 502K, which is 53. Now, there are going to be items that is even here that will be IDs as well, so I would just ask counsel to.
Before it's open, I have one here, just a couple of questions, clarification before
Okay, dickhead.
make a decision. You indicated that, you were just asked questions in terms of seizing, everything that was in the receptacle, right?
correct.
Go home, Saul.
This is not,
Go home.
this is not the only thing in that garbage receptacle at Albany Avenue and Green Street that you seized, right?
Correct.
There are also white garbage bags that were seized.
Yes,
They're not in here, are they, in this bag that we're about to open?
no,
They're separate.
yes.
And is this the way you found it? I mean, it's maybe spread out a bit, but is this
Why?
the way
He's
you
got his
actually
turn. Why
found
is he
this?
even allowed to do
We're
this?
seeing on the screen there, in that condition, just two ripped bags?
Yes,
And there was just a statement made, there were some other things. that were
Oh
in
my
the bag.
God.
So
I don't know why they allow
in
this.
Those two black bags were shown on the screen at the time that you took that photograph.
not to my knowledge. I'm unaware of that.
Okay, so this time, as I understand, it's only the bags that are being offered.
Is everything in 502K? I need to open that.
Oh, so, but in terms of what you're, I just through the court, it's just the bags at this point that are being offered?
Maybe if I can just clarify a little bit. So
Yes.
you never opened these bags?
No,
correct? You never looked inside of them, ripped them open, looked to see what was there?
no,
Okay. You seized those bags as they contain in that item, and then it got sent to the lab.
yes,
Do you have any idea what happened after the lab?
no,
So realistically, Your Honor, all that's being offered at this time would be the items that are seen on the screen, which is the bag tied together. The other, anything that was contained therein, I believe will be coming in through the lab as they were the ones that found it.
That's what I wanted to get clarification. I didn't know whether there was anything that was observed inside the bags, but if it's just Bags at this point, I'm certainly not objecting.
Thank you. What would
They
be
said
the
that
exhibit
1,000
number?
times.
This is exhibit 53.
Exhibit 53 admitted.
Hiding
full exhibit.
everything is not
Can I
a
publish,
good
Your Honor?
look.
Yes.
It's not a good look.
Your Honor, if you look at the bag itself, the exterior bag is marked with the exhibit sticker, but if there's other things in there, I just want the record to reflect. I don't know what that is yet, so I don't want to agree that everything in that bag is admissible, only the one item we just talked about.
God almighty.
Perhaps I should just over-
I bet you that prosecution doesn't do that. No problem, Dandy. Oh my God. I've never seen this before.
So just with respect to, if I may, Your Honor, Counsel and I are going through to ensure we have everything. So with respect to the item contained in that photograph, do you recall how many bags there were?
I don't recall.
Would you like to look at your report, or would it refresh your recollection to? By the
Yes.
way, you didn't separate them and pull them apart.
I did not.
Okay, and you didn't look inside to see what's inside of them?
I did not.
And with respect to, actually, I need a different report. Oh. What's this? Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. Oh, that's okay.
He honestly has to be as irritating to the jury. Like, it just, to me, the way he behaves is like he's trying to hide stuff. That's the way it looks to me. I don't like his technique. Let's put it that way. It's got to be just about lunchtime for them.
May I report to clerk, Your Honor?
Yes.
So I'm going to show you what's been marked 54 for ID. Please don't read it loud from it, but I'm going to draw your attention to the middle of the page. If you can review that, and see if it refreshes your recollection concerning this exhibit.
I do.
And how many garbage bags was I guess, contained within this exhibit itself?
4 pieces.
4 pieces? Okay. And did you separate them to designate and give them different names or different numbers?
I did not.
Okay. Did you just package it together so it could be sent to the lab?
Correct.
And if I may,
No, all good, friend. Just Saul complaining again.
I may just have a moment here.
Look at him.
Your Honor, may I do one more clarification with the state's permission here? When we're looking, sir, when we're looking at the picture, you can't tell whether there's 1, 2, or more bags, correct?
Correct.
When you wrote your report, you referred to it when you were just refreshing your recollection. I just want to see, you said you refreshed your recollection, right?
I did.
You referred to it as 4 pieces of a black plastic garbage bag, right?
Yes.
I'm not objecting.
Oh my God.
So this would be states 51, Your Honor. There are items that are going to marked as A, B, and C. There's actually 3 more items, counsel. There's 3 more items in here.
So there's no objection to states 51, A, B, and C?
No, sir. I'm just offering what's depicted on the screen right now as the garbage bags, as basically
Which is states 51?
51. It's 53. So it's 53, Your Honor, if I can. 53 would be those items over there.
These
53A.
the garbage bags, man. Why do you have to have your nose all over it?
If I can.
Why is he making a thing out of garbage bags?
So the offer has been made on states 51, correct?
51, I apologize, it's my mistake. 51 is already in, it's 53.
Thank you.
And I believe there's no objections to these, those will be for another day.
No objection.
To that item, the bag that we were just talking about.
So states 53,
Yes, Your Honor, we will these 3.
admitted as full exhibit.
By the way, sir, you didn't separate these as they came in?
I did not. I packaged them just as they were in the photograph.
Yeah, that's the thing, Chopper. So much is going on right now that people are in the middle of other cases, and it's not from lack of desire. There's just not enough time in the day.
And you didn't separate this, correct?
No.
Actually, going back to this first one, is there another inside the bag? Kate, may I just have one moment? So I'm going to show you back to the first one. There's this big piece hanging out here. And again, you didn't separate these or pull them out.
I did not.
They're fairly big bags, aren't they? Big black garbage bags. Here's that awesome, Shauna.
And how many bags did you indicate in your report, sir?
4.
Unreal. I bet Tony does some great Aussie.
And sir, if you could take a look behind you. And that is photograph 26. Is that one
How
of the?
pretty there. I'm
that you
surprised
pulled
they're
out
not
of
letting
the
them eat.
garbage bag that day?
It is.
And was that also seized as evidence and given a marker?
Yes.
And I'm gonna move on if I can. Sir, to take a look at the photograph behind you, which is photograph 27. Do you
Oh.
recognize that?
I do.
Is that an item that came out of the garbage that day on Albany Avenue and Green Street?
Yes.
What is it a photograph of?
The photograph of a paper towel with blood-like staining on it.
And did you seize it as evidence?
I did.
I may approach states 55. Do you recognize that item?
I do.
And what is it?
It's the item, the paper towel with blood-like staining contained within an evidence packaging.
Why did you seize that as evidence that day?
Found it relevant due to the fact that it had blood-like staining on it.
State would offer 55.
No objection. States 55 admitted as a full exhibit.
May I publish?
Yes.
Sir, did this also go to the lab?
It did.
No wonder Phyllis did, or Pholus did the hose in the tailpipe trick. He was sunk. Wimp. Coward.
Sir, if you could take a look at the picture. This is 28. 28. Do you recognize what's depicted there?
I do.
What is that?
It's a trash bag with a bunch of vegetation in it, i.e. leaves, sticks.
And was that bag seized as evidence as well?
It was.
Why was it seized?
We found it out of place and might be relevant to the investigation.
Was any action taken on that item contained in 5020?
It was.
What was done?
It was sent to a laboratory, agricultural laboratory in Maine.
And, well, I'll stop
Sure
there.
is.
Item behind you, which is photograph 29. Can you take a look at that? What is depicted on that photograph, please?
It's like two pieces of white cloth with a blood-like substance on it.
And did you seize those two pieces that day?
I did.
And did those two pieces come out of Albany and Green
They did.
on May 30th, 2019?
They did.
And why did you seize them as evidence?
They had blood-like staining on them, and I found them relevant.
So may I just approach? I'm going to show you what's marked at C56. Do you recognize that?
I do.
What is it?
It's the exhibit contained within evidence packaging.
And by exhibit contained within the evidence packaging, are you
It's the white paper cloths in an evidence package.
502P?
Yes.
They would offer 56, Your Honor.
States 56 admitted as a full exhibit.
May I publish?
Yes.
We're gonna have a late lunch. Maybe an early day today? I don't know.
Sir, just to be clear, did you, could you please show, if I may just approach, whether it's on the actual item or the photograph, the items of blood-like stain? Front of the bigger, I would say, of the paper towels?
The bigger piece, and it's on the edges of the smaller piece.
Thank you. Sir, do you take a look behind you? That is states 30. 30? 30. I'm sorry, not states 30. Photograph 30 out of states 42. What is that, sir?
It's two trash bags.
Did you seize those as evidence?
We did.
Why did you seize it as evidence?
We found it relevant to the investigation
Why is that?
because the person of interest or suspect, as you will call it, was dumping items of trash in trash receptacles in Hartford.
Yes. Okay. This one has the. 57, Your Honor?
No objection.
States 57 admitted as a full exhibit.
Did you look inside that bag, sir?
I don't recall.
Now, are these different types of bags than the other ones that you saw in the seats in the garbage?
They are.
Okay, in what way?
These are more of a grocery store type bag.
And so why did you still seize these?
We were told that suspect had thrown black bags in the trash in Hartford.
So you seized all trash?
Yes.
That you could find? Okay. This one has, I guess, something inside of it. Do you recall that?
I don't recall.
Sir, I'm going to show you what's behind you now, please. You can take a look at that. Do you recognize that?
I do.
What is it?
It's a razor blade.
Did you find that in the garbage on?
That concerns me.
I did.
On May 30th, 2019?
I did.
Did you seize that as evidence?
I did.
Why did you seize it as evidence?
I found it relevant because there was blood-like substance on it. Part of the razor blade was broken, and there was a hair-like fiber on the broken razor blade.
Brutal.
It's been marked as States 58. Do you recognize this item?
Brutal.
I do.
What is it?
It's the broken razor blade within evidence packaging.
And to your knowledge, did this also go to the lab?
Yes.
State would offer it, Your Honor.
Could I, one here,
Yes.
clarify?
Oh my God.
Detective, you're referring to this item that we see on the screen, and which is, you looked at the bag that contains what we're seeing on the screen is 502S.
Yes.
You're referring to that as a razor blade. Is that the term you're using?
I believe a better term would be a scraper with a razor blade attached to it.
Or a box cutter, maybe?
That could be another term.
Right, but it's, you're referring to this item as a razor blade. It's actually a tool that's either a box cutter or a scraper that may contain, you said a broken razor blade within.
Yes,
That's what you mean by this?
that's a better representation.
Okay, so you didn't take it apart and see what's inside,
I did not.
but you're talking about this whole item.
Correct.
Okay, I'm not going to object. I just wanted to clarify what we were talking about.
And this is states
58, Your Honor.
58 admitted as a full exhibit.
May I publish?
And not relevant. It's 20 to 1 their time and they haven't had lunch.
Let me just have one moment, Your Honor. No. I may, Your Honor.
Watch your
58
zappers.
ID, Your Honor. And I'm gonna put it back in the.
Yeah, they haven't had lunch yet.
58.
So for the record, it's my understanding the state is only offering at this time exhibit 58, but box cutter, but not whatever was in this envelope.
That's correct, Your Honor.
So 58 admitted as a full
Have you guys ever seen a lawyer
I'm putting
object to,
58
or
inside of it to keep track, Your Honor.
give his
but-
opinion on every single frickin' thing? Blows me away.
No, sir, you indicated there was a broken blade. If I may approach. What did you mean by that?
The top portion here is a razor blade and it's broken.
And you indicated there was a blood-like substance on the blade. Where was that?
It's on the edges of the blade,
Where-
Yes.
no, Where the actual blade is broken?
where it's actually broken.
Thank you, sir. So take a look at the screen behind you. You recognize that item?
I do.
What is it?
It's a screwdriver?
Did that come out of the garbage at Albany and Green?
Yes,
Was that on May 30th, 2019?
yes,
Now, did you seize that as evidence?
I did.
Why?
Because there was a blood-like substance on it.
And where was the blood-like substance?
On the, can I get up and show you?
If you could, please.
It appeared to be on the shaft portion of the screwdriver.
If I can, sir, I'm going to show you what's been marked as states 59. Do you recognize this item?
Yes,
What is it?
it's the screwdriver within evidence packaging.
Is it the screwdriver that you took out of the garbage on Albany and Green?
It is,
The one that portrayed on that photograph behind you?
yes.
State would offer it.
No objection.
So that states 59.
Yes, sir.
States 59 will be admitted as a full exhibit.
If I may, sir. With respect to states 59, where was the blood-like stain that you saw?
Butter.
Tool portion,
Cool.
you say?
Yep.
Sir, if you take a look behind you. Do you recognize what's depicted on that screen?
I do.
What is depicted on that screen?
It's a white colored bra with blood-like substance on the bra.
And if you can, actually, you wouldn't mind. Oh, I just- Could you go back to the garbage? Here. Go back to picture 7, sir. On states 42, file 3. That bra we saw on that photograph, is it contained in picture 7?
It is.
If you wouldn't mind, please standing up and run through it.
If you zoom in right here, there's part of the strap and the bra itself.
Now, you indicated previously that you opened that bag. Why that bag?
It was already partially opened, so I could see within it. So I continued to open it up, avoiding the knot area.
And why did you seize the bra? If we can go back to that photograph, please. Thank you.
While we were investigating the disappearance of a woman, where an alleged assault had taken place.
Objection, Your Honor.
Your Honor, it's offered for why he did something.
Again, this goes to why he did something is irrelevant. Basically sees everything is explained. It had a blood-like stain on it. That is the reason why it's been seized, for him to now narrate what he thinks happened is, I think, improper and irrelevant.
Well, the information that Sergeant Duggan received, he did not previously say the information he received concerned an assault, but that does not mean that he's precluded from stating that the information he received also included information about an assault. Overruled.
Of course.
Sir, was that
It's
item
a
seized
waste
as
of
evidence
time.
as well?
It was.
Was it given an evidentiary number?
It was.
What number was that?
502U.
Well said. Unreal.
Is
Look
that
at
what the
that.
bra looked like?
Fudge.
that day?
Yes,
Ooh
that's
la.
a different side of it.
Okay, and the next one? What is that, sir?
Oh my
That's
God.
a long sleeve striped shirt with blood-like substance on it that was seized from within that bag.
Jesus. Brutal. Okay, he's got to pipe up soon. Brutal. You guys. I've never seen this before where the defense interrupts the prosecution on every item. I have never seen this before. And I have watched a lot of trials through life, a lot. They haven't talked about that yet, but I would lean that way. But they haven't. They're right now just showing what they have found. They haven't been giving results.
If I may just have a moment with counsel, Your Honor.
Because he's a whiny bitch. Oops. Yeah, Franky's not good at holding her opinions to herself. Yeah. This guy. I just don't think it looks good for the defense. It's a bunny witch. Bunny witch. Love it. Yeah, I think right now they're just explaining why he brought it in and looked at it as evidence. I think that's as far as they're going right now. And he's just like, wah, 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 all the way home. Why is this? Get out of there. Oh my God. Yes, there we go. Thank you. Oh. What are you doing except holding up this trial? He's giving me a freaking headache, man. Well, hello, P9. Welcome. Good to see you. Sit Down man. All good here. They're hovering. Like, are you kidding me? Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, no, that's okay. Yeah. Make sure he's done. Look at her. Like, just do your whining now. Get it out of you. Because the judge is just going to object to everything you have to say. Oh my God. Like he's acting like he's the boss.
If I can actually inquire, Your Honor, I'm gonna separate the exhibit numbers on this if I can. The entire box was, just to be clear, 60. The entire box is 60. That would be just the box. I believe if we can make this 61, please. And if I may inquire, 61 is no objection.
No objection.
Thank you.
And 61 is admitted as a full exhibit.
Yes, sir, thank you.
And then we have based on the representation of what's in it, if there's something else in it, then I.
Yeah, there is. There's lots.
These have all been sealed. I have not tampered with that. If you can, 62 is a full exhibit as well.
Yeah, a hell of a lot more than I knew of.
We didn't need to open it, assuming it's what we think is in there.
62,
Shut up, buddy.
state
Shut
62
up.
admitted as a full exhibit.
Thank you. And 63
No, he's not my buddy.
is ID at this time, if I may.
Like he acts like he's running the show,
Thank you.
and he's not.
And thank you very much for. Okay, Sergeant Duggan, can I ask you a couple questions about
It's
this?
been a long morning, guys. They've done 3 hours. They've only had one break, and it's going on 1 o'clock. So I'm starting to think that it's going to be an early day.
It's a box, and within it is a black trash bag with a shirt and a bra.
With respect to what is, we saw a photograph of the bag containing the bra and the shirt previously. Do you remember that?
I do.
And with respect to those 3 items as a whole, did you seize them together?
I believe we seized them separately.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you give them a F502U number?
Yes,
So 502U would be the shirt,
the shirt.
502U would be the bra. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay, and 502U would be the garbage bag it came in as well.
yes.
Okay, now when you package them together, did you package them within the label of 502U?
Yes.
And if you can, with respect to was a label given onto the box?
It was.
And what does that label read, please?
One plastic garbage bag tied in a knot containing a shirt.
It
and
probably
bra
would
of
be
white
if the
substance
defense would like
contained within Exhibit 502.
back off just a little
So the
bit.
shirt and the bra were contained within the bag.
Yes,
So with respect to all 3 items, did they go to the lab?
they did.
And how do you know that?
There's a lab sticker on the box.
It states 60.
Yes,
Now I'm going to show you the inside of state 60. If I can. Specifically for ID, state 63. Do you recognize this item?
I do.
What is it?
That's the black trash bag contained within an evidence bag.
How do you recognize it?
There's a writing on the bag that says black trash bag,
And how do you recognize that writing?
because I put it there.
So that would be, that's contained in this, that writing on this bag on page 63?
Yes,
So what was contained within 63? I'm going to show you, and by the way, this went to the lab afterwards, so you can't testify to anything that happened after you seized it, correct?
correct.
And so anything that was contained in here was something you put in?
Yes,
I'm going to show you the contents of 60. Do you recognize that?
I do.
What is it?
That's the black trash bag.
And is that the black trash bag that you seized in connection with the bra and shirt, or that contained the bra?
So much
Yes,
of that red stuff. Like, look at that shirt.
Your Honor,
Their bra
on the
was
side
soaked right
discussion,
through.
This went to the lab and it's been altered, so I'm gonna object at this time until we hear from the lab people. At which point, as long as that foundation is laid, I'm not gonna object. At this point, I submit testimony without me even having to do a voir dire, it's in an altered state from when he collected it, and therefore I object at this point. It does require some additional foundation that I would have some questions about.
Your Honor, if I may, I have successfully completed in the state's view the chain of custody to indicate that this witness saw the black bag, saw the shirt, the bra contained therein, seized it appropriately, logged it all as evidence. He has identified both the bag, the container it came in, as well as the exhibit as a whole. Now, steps on what happened to that item after it left his possession is certainly fodder for cross-examination and further follow-up, which I'm sure there will be, but it goes to its weight with respect to its analysis in the case. It doesn't go to its admissibility. The state has satisfied that, so I would ask it to be admitted at this time.
If I may respond, Your Honor, I've been very liberal about not objecting to the fact that many of these items went to the lab. This is one that there was a lot of lab work done on. It does require a chain of custody for that matter, which I understand is going to be done. So I'm objecting, it's not in the condition it was in when it was seized and packaged by this witness. Therefore, he is not it can be marked for ID. They've established the first step, but I believe I'm entitled to show what happened to it, how it was changed, and what it was like when it came back. And again, I am not requiring the state to bring in every person who delivered it and drove it, but there is the lab portion.
I call
of this,
bullshit,
and I'm
buddy.
objected on that basis to the other items. This is one that there needs to be some examination through the lab people. So I'm objecting that it comes as a full at this moment.
Well, the witnesses testified that the bag itself was pulled from a receptacle. The bag was partially open. Inside of the bag was the bra with blood-like stains and a shirt with blood-like stains. He marked the bag. Counsel's objection is that the bag has been altered. So that is not persuasive in determining whether the bag was marked and whether it was the bag that was pulled from the corner of Albany and Green. Overruled.
Of course.
That is 63 as a full. Your Honor, may I publish these exhibits?
Well, time is 1 o'clock.
Oh,
We can pick up
yes.
at 2 o'clock. Ladies and gentlemen, we will stand in our luncheon recess. Please do not discuss the case. We will resume at, let's say 2:05.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Well, holy crap, guys.
All rise. This honorable Superior Court now stands in recess until 2:05. Please.
Wow. So, guys, that I guess was the morning. So, I'm thinking what I'd like to do is maybe meet up with my mods on Discord and we'll talk about this afternoon. So, thank you guys for being here with me. I'm sure he irritated the crap out of you as much as he did me. So, I enjoy your break from this guy. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.